Alright guys, thanks for waiting. Game 1 has loaded successfully. Here we go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Should be a pretty good game here. We'll see if this game goes to 3. I don't think there's been a... Well, actually no, there was one set in the first round that went to 3 games, but the last game was definitely a blowout. We can twerk, blowing past the quarterfinals pretty fast. We'll see how this set goes though.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Red team looks like they're just interested in protecting their jungle, not really looking to go hard on anything. Blue team playing very similar. Yeah, no early movements, but just some early vision for the blue team. Warding up in case they decide to sneak into their blue, but that will not be happening. And Jungle Alistair will be taking his own blue. He will really need that to get his jungle going. Vi also pretty slow on her first clear, but she will get some assistance from this bot lane. And we'll see how this plays out. We'll see if Mark 24 and Poseidon can get an early advantage. Who was Evan immediately stepping forward. And once that bouncing bomb misses, he goes in for some more harass. Sacrifices a CS though. It's a little unfortunate. Starts with the E at level 1 for the early aggression. But he is again missing out on creeps, so may not be completely worth it. We'll see if he can land a kill. Captain Poseidon playing very aggressive early, walking up and smacking Graves on the head. We'll see if this aggression goes rewarded or not. True Void really far up, but blue team not going for him. Just gonna let him do as he pleases. Flay lands onto Veal. Pops the E, and the level 2 has been hit by both bot lanes, but Mark 24 is running a little bit low, but Vio isn't much better off. So the trade actually pretty even. And looks like everybody held their summoners, so nobody blinked first. Vi looks like she is making her way up to the top side, and there is no wards to scout her out, but the junglers, hello, look like they might run into each other, and they do. Rice Farmer gets jumped on, headbutts Zeus away. And the red buff is ticking, but he should be able to get out of that. Meanwhile, bot lane continuing to duel. Captain Poseidon getting stunned up, eats the full buckshot. Whoa, that Zenith Blade. And the Ignite is burning onto Veal. He will pop the heal. Mark 24 and Captain Poseidon are playing this very dangerous. Veal gets too close. Tries to flash away, but it is too little too late. The Thresh Lantern Shield will protect him. And Void may go down here. We'll see if he can finish him. No, he cannot. Lucian already finished Graves off and had his flash used already, so he could not chase, even though he had the double shot passive ready. So some really big duel right there in the bot lane. Did not expect that to happen so early. And man, that's going to be huge for the blue team. They have a huge wave hitting the tower already, and Graves is not going to be able to clear all of that as fast as he would want to at this low level. He does pick up a longsword for himself, so that's not the end of the world. But that is going to be experience that Leona's going to miss out on. It's going to give Graves a little bit more, alternatively, but still not a good look. And an early Vamp Scepter for Lucian is going to have a whole lot more sustain right now. So early advantage to the blue side bot lane. We'll see if they could snowball that or if the red team can come back with some jungle assistance. Leona still has her flash available. True Void trying to get the jump onto Mark 24. Quickly ease away. But it looked like Vio was a little too far away to follow up anyway. They have built up a nice creep wave though, so advantage is back to them as they can push up. Vio gets caught as True Void walks away to ward. The death sentence does land, but again, the creep wave is a little bit too big right now, and that was not a good time to fight, I think, for the blue team, as they were not on the same page. Vi is in the area, though, and Graves does not have a flash available. But they do spot him out with the ward in the tri-bush, and they immediately back up and play it safe. We'll see how the red team uses this information to their advantage. So, okay, looking back at the mid lane now as Alistar gets spotted out by a ward. Very nicely done right there. Orianna is slowly accruing a gold lead onto Ziggs. And he already did force Ziggs out of lane and goes back for a Tear of the Goddess. So he will not come back with extra AP or any defenses. See Rice Farmer showing presence in top lane, but Biggie Sexy able to escape that without burning any summoners. That's really good for him. As this bot lane continues to keep fighting, Mark 24 poking True Void for not a whole lot of damage. He's going to shrug that one off. And both junglers not really camping lanes too hard. They are just going for their clears, trying to ramp up. Both junglers getting to level 6. Vi much closer, though. Already at level 5. Fierce continuing to harass Biggie Sexy in the top lane, who is out of mana. And that is one of the benefits of Shyvana. Does not have to worry about mana as a resource. Only cooldowns. So it allows her to stay in lane a lot longer, as long as she can stay healthy and topped off. But Kayle does have a teleport to get back if she really needs to get back. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job of holding the lane for now, but he is going to take his back as soon as possible. We'll see if Fierce goes down to disrupt, and he indeed does. As we see Vi starting her second red, already level 6. Alistar still level 4. So he is very behind right now. Death Sentence landing in the bot lane as True Void goes in to peel him off. Good buckshot landing onto both, but Vio has taken way too much damage and he can no longer stay in and fight. Alistar is making his way around towards the dragon area, and they have a lot of vision there. As the double pink in the bush, one for each team. Culling coming out to do more damage. Alistar getting caught out trying to clear that delicious pink ward. Flash over by Who Is Evan. The auto attacks will take him down. And Ziggs has committed to the fight. Meanwhile, speaking of committing, Thresh going way hard. Mark 24 can't quite finish off Leona. But now that the tower has de-aggroed, he is all but dead. Easy kill right there with the W coming across Ardent Blaze. And again, that's that Tear of the Goddess for you without the extra AP that you would normally get from the Chalice. Didn't really have any oomph behind that ultimate. Yeah, right now damage is very lacking on the red team. Not so much on the blue team though, they have a lot of damage. And it looks like Vi already able to pick up that double longsword, building towards that Lizard Elder. Now the teleport was used by Kayle to get back into lane. And we'll see what Shyvana decides to do with his teleport. Fierce might want to save that for a potential dragon fight. Yeah, right now Alistar needs to try to catch up. He is down by almost double the CS of Vi, and he's already died once. Void able to sidestep the flare right there as the smoke cloud comes down from Graves. Zenith Blade way too far away from that. Just throwing it out there for a fish. Right now, red team seems a little out of sorts. They don't really know what to do. Alistar can't really find any opportunities to gank as he is already weaker than Vi. So if Vi were to show up and catch him like that, he will just get chunked out. And he's probably going to have to base. We'll see if Vi goes over to disrupt it, as it is on a ward. The dragon area getting pinged out. We'll see if they clear it before they do it. Since they know that Alistar is below half, they might decide to just force that now while he's not available. And Biggie Sexy continuing the trend of that matchup, having a very easy time against Shyvana. Almost up by about 10 CS. And literally no pressure from the jungler at all. Able to just harass him for free, as Shyvana has to walk up to the creeps and melee them. Allowing Kayle to stay out of turret range and take no damage. Again, for those of you just tuning in, this is the LoL Summer League quarterfinals. 1 of 4 matches. Wicked Twerk has already advanced to the semifinals. Pang Smash looking like they want to do the same, as they have taken command of this game. Alistar coming in for the dive, or excuse me, for the tower save. Turret is still alive. Mark 24 walks into the Solar Flare but doesn't quite get stunned up. Thresh is in no man's land. Decides to take the Lantern, and he will escape the Shyvana, but will he escape the Zenith Blade? It looks like he just might be able to get out of range, as he does E away. So the Lantern trip takes the scenic route right there. And that was a good gank by Alistar through the lane. Blue team were definitely not expecting that. And now Go 3 Cat is in prime position to take this dragon for free, as Vi is nowhere in the area. And they are already in position, whereas the blue team is all scattered. So blue team should still get an approximate timer on it. But that's a really good team effort right there by the red team. Again, as I said, Fierce holding that teleport to make a play instead of just getting back to lane, and it paid off. Although he didn't net a kill from it, it basically just helped them secure Dragon. And it also ensured that the bot lane would have no chance of turning that gank around. Taking a look at the items across the board. Getting close to the 13-minute mark here. Lucian having a great lane. He's up 100-something CS, about 104 to only about 60 on VO. So that's crushing numbers. And Graves has died twice on top of that. So as you can see, the Bloodthirsts are already completed on Lucian. A huge power spike difference if they ever fight. And they're going to have to take advantage of that. They can't sit on their lead right now, because the red team will bring it back if blue team allows them to. They can't get complacent, or they've already lost the first dragon. We'll see how they step it up. Mark 24 getting stunned up by the Solar Flare, but the Dark Passage easily able to get him out of that situation, and that is a Solar Flare down, which is going to make defending this turret a lot more difficult. Ziggs throwing down his Mega Inferno Bomb, but there are 5 people there. And again, without the Solar Flare to start the fight, the red team can only watch as their mid turret goes down. Again, Lucian pushing up that wave. We'll see what they decide to do from here. The dragon is already gone, and they've already taken bot turret. We'll see if they go for a fight now. With the turrets down, it allows them a lot more movement around the map, a lot more control and potential to place wards down. Gain control of the jungle. Blue buff looks like it was going to be contested, and then the blue team thought better of it and just decided to go back and heal and buy. And yeah, blue team is still winning in the objective war. 3 turrets to 0. All the outer turrets down. That is a huge map control for Pang Smash. And again, like I said, all the lanes have pretty much won coming out of the laning phase, with the slight slip up where they lost the dragon and got 4v2'd. Okay, so the blue team are under the sights of the red team. They could actually get collapsed on if they are not careful. They are going around instead. Void is all by himself, and they are focusing a lot onto the support, and that might not have been a good idea. Vio is over the wall, but his attack range is too short. He can't attack from over the wall. Oh, and here comes Who Is Evan. Surely we're going to see a shockwave if they get too clumped up. There it is. And the Assault and Battery coming down as well. One more auto attack will secure the double kill for Lucian. And that is going to be all she wrote for that fight. That was a really sloppy start where they had collapsed onto Leona. Leona blew all of her cooldowns. But unfortunately, after Graves blew his spells, he couldn't really attack from over the wall. He had to move around to get into position, and that just caused him to run into Orianna. And Orianna immediately punished them with that. As Biggie Sexy popping intervention to get the turret, very much worth it. That intervention is on a very short cooldown, so she'll happily burn that. Here comes another Mega Inferno Bomb. Alistar missing the Pulverize, and that is the end of that chase. As who is Evan feeling himself, and just as the Lantern's about to go away, takes it out. Pang Smash really flexing their muscles now. They are up 26k to 19.3. This is very, very convincing, very dominant. Blue team looks like they were really prepared for this match. And the really unorthodox comp of the jungle Alistar did really not work out for them. Alistar didn't get any early ganks or any early presence in the lanes. He ganked a couple times, but not until the very end was he able to actually get something out of it. And by then, the lanes had already snowballed ahead in terms of CS and in kills. Lucian right now is monstrous with those 401, close on 150 CS. He's playing very, very well, leading his team. Yeah, and again, there were a lot of concerns in the chat about the lack of damage on the red team. As you see, Shyvana is building tanky shoot. Shyvana will scale eventually and, you know, do work, but that's going to take a long time at this rate. Kayle already has Nashor's Tooth on deck. Another big problem with this lead is that when Kayle is on the winning team and you're really far ahead, those interventions become a real pain in the butt because it allows the blue team to live by just a little bit of a sliver more because of the item advantage and the gold advantage. And it's going to allow intervention to become that much more annoying. Saving people when they would probably have gotten bursted down if the gold were even. We'll see if that gets into the head of the red team. Captain Zeus coming in to pick up that farm in the mid lane. Right now, things have kind of actually died down. They've taken... The blue team has 4 turrets, and red team has not been able to answer with a turret of their own yet. But the blue team are not really pressing their advantage. They're clearing out their stuff, they're farming the lanes, but it's allowing the red team to also farm. Here comes the dragon, and this will be a good step towards forcing objectives. Pick this up. We'll see where they decide to push next. Again, with the second tier turret down in the mid lane, that allows them a lot more map freedom. Do whatever they want, as Who is Evan is just pelting Alistar with those stacks. And goodbye, Ali baby. Mega Inferno Bomb coming across all that AoE, but you can see just how far behind they are as they're taking so long to kill them. Shyvana finally able to come in, and the red team is all clumped up. They eat that huge Orianna ball. Vi finally does go down. We'll see if the blue team can turn this around. No, they cannot. That Orianna damage is just too serious right now. And one more auto attack will seal the kill onto Ziggs. Orianna's going to kill them all at this rate. But Mark needs to put out some auto attacks. Finally gets in range. We'll see if they let the red buff, the double buff, excuse me, go to Mark, and they do. So that is a delayed ace. Alistar had already respawned. And yeah, that's not a good sign, as Kayle was not even there, and they still got cleaned up. That Orianna damage is just too powerful right now. And red team really needs to be more aware of when they clump up like that, as they were just eating those dissonances, getting chunked down. The only person with any reasonable amount of MR right now seems to be Shyvana. So the carries are easy pickings right now. And again, Ziggs has a lot of mana, the Archangels, but he does not have the normal mana regen that the Grail would usually offer, which Orianna did pick up. And on top of that, he has the pieces of Death Cap. So it's looking to be pretty easy, pretty straightforward for Orianna. Just land your skills and let the items do the rest. And it looks like right now the person in the best position at the moment is the Shyvana with 2-1-0. None of the, neither the AD carry or the AP carry have any kills yet, so they still need a lot of time to ramp up and catch up. Whereas the blue team is already there. Trinity Force Bloodthirster. Huge, huge pickup right there for Lucian. He is going to be a beast. He is having a great game right now, 6-0-2. Definitely his best game so far this tournament. He's definitely going to be looking to pad that KDA if he can. And it looks like the blue team's strategy is to just split and force the red team to respond to threats all over the map. So provided, as long as they don't get caught out by any massive AoE initiate, they should be able to stretch them over the long run. As the red team will be forced to eventually just group up and try to force a fight. Culling coming across to clear the wave. Doesn't really do any damage to Samson or Veal. Rice Farmer waiting over the wall. And they get some vision down. See if he wants to fight here. Mark 24 meanwhile able to secure the bot turret. There is the intervention plus the shockwave. And the red team is not getting the better end of this exchange. And again, that gold lead just so frustrating right now. They are living with very low health bars. And it looks like they may pay the price here. And there it is right there. A nice bouncing bomb by Samson to pick that up. But it was not a very clean win, as you can see. They were still able to pick up some kills. Mark has still been pelting away at the bot lane with Captain Poseidon. And this is going to be yet another objective taken. Still 7 turrets and 0 answered by the red team. They have just been trapped on their side of the map. They have not seen much past the river for a long time. Still, that was a good attempt by the red team. They were at least able to secure a couple kills, get some gold onto Ziggs and Graves. But it was, again, still not a very good sign as they were taking a lot of turret damage. And it still took them a long time to get them low. And I don't think that's going to be happening again. The blue team are probably thinking about either Baron or just walking straight up to that inhibitor and forcing it down. And without the turret to output damage, that's going to be a big mismatch for the red team as they are really deep in the hole right now. 41.7 to 30. And it's barely 23.5 minutes into the game. Vault Breaker landing right onto True Void. They're going to have to run. That culling is ripping him apart. True Void going in. And again, they do sacrifice the support, and that is very much worth it for them. And you can see the results. Trading an AD carry for a support all day, every day. Very much worth it. Who is Evan? Looking to try to pick that up. Not really sure what that was. That was a very horrible shockwave. Had to have been a mechanical error. And I'm not sure if the red team saw that. They probably did, so they know that that's on cooldown now. So red team taking advantage of the blue team's over-aggression a little bit, but Alistar getting caught out anyway. Stuck around a little bit too long. Samson throwing down that minefield because he knows that the blue teams are coming. We'll see if the blue team want to chase. They will not. And they're just waiting for their AD carry to rejoin them. And it looks like blue team are going to continue to pressure the Baron pit. Get complete vision control of that. They know where most of the wards are. Oh, it looks like they're going for Dragon. That is also heavily warded by the red team, by the way. So we'll see what the red team decides to do. Mega Infernal Bomb is not quite up yet. Neither is the Solar Flare. But it will be up very soon. The blue team needs to be aware of this. They cannot allow themselves to get caught out and lose their 6-1-3 Lucian so fast like that. He really needs to be aware of the CC and the damage and stay away from it. Can't go too ham yet. Game is not quite over. Throw is still very possible at this point. But yeah, looking at that item difference, Graves is such a sad man right now. Only the Bloodthirster and some pieces of a Last Whisper, desperately trying to build damage. Great shockwave combination onto the back line as the red team is in all kinds of trouble right now. But have they gone a little bit too deep, as Shyvana making a huge play right there and is able to poke out the blue team and split them up pretty much. And now Ziggs is free to do the damages as the blue team is running now. And we'll see if they can turn this around. It doesn't look like they'll be able to. Good hook over the wall by Captain Poseidon, juking the entire red team as nobody went over to cover that option. And we'll see if they decide to fight this. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Mark 24 standing his ground momentarily, but just kidding, as he's able to E away. And you can see here, because they haven't taken any turrets left. Whoa! That was a very poor decision by Captain Poseidon. I do not know what he was doing right there. Threw himself away after he had cleanly escaped. I don't understand the mentality behind that. But very luckily for the blue team, they are so far ahead that they will not be able to pressure the turrets. Again, they still have not taken a single outer turret yet, so they cannot chase as deep as they normally would at this point in the game. So the blue team was able to walk away. Still really confused about that Thresh play, though. Not sure why he went in. Obviously, he felt that he could make a play there. Or he thought that Lucian was going in with him, but regardless, that did not work out at all. Yeah, and again, great play by the red team to stand their ground at the inhibitor, which will heal itself over time. Shyvana really did a good job of getting to that back line. Even though the shockwave combo was massive, Graves really took a lot of damage there. Just instantly melted him. So yeah, if the blue team can just get around the AoE of the Solar Flare and the Mega Inferno Bomb and get one good fight off, they could probably decide the game and take inhibitors, but red team are not making it easy for them. And again, the red team definitely a lot more experienced, even though they've never teamed all together before. As individuals, they played many more tournament matches over the last few years, I'm sure. So this is where experience comes into play. Can the blue team close the game out? Can they make the right calls at the right time? True Void does go in, lands onto Who is Evan. And like we said right there, the experience. Orianna got way too close without any kind of backup or peel. And now the red team is in full control of this game. All of a sudden, what is going on as they dive past the tier 2? And meanwhile, on the top side, Kayle getting triple teamed right there. Graves will not ulti, as he did use that a little bit while ago. So it is very much still on cooldown. Yeah, but all of a sudden, the red team are playing a lot more aggressive, even though they were, and still are, 10k gold in the gutter. But the blue team is just playing all out of sorts right now, and they are not making team-oriented plays. They are going in one at a time, getting picked off one at a time. The blue team is starting to unravel a little bit here. Red team wisely just taking what they can get and getting back. And their waves are pushing pretty well right now. Their turrets are not in danger anymore. And Vio, excuse me, will continue to push that up even further, as he's starting to catch up a little bit, but not really. He's still way behind the items of Lucian, but it looks like the red team has either realized that Lucian is not dodging the initiations or is positioning really badly, because they are getting to him very fast, or at least forcing him out of the fight, so all the gold that he has in those items are pretty much useless, as he is not able to output any damage. We'll see if the blue team can rectify that again. There is still a lot of time for them to make up for those mistakes. They lost one outer turret, and that's all. They gave up a lot of gold, no doubt, but this game is still very much theirs to lose. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like they're going to stay grouped as a 5, deviating from their strategy of where Kayle was split pushing. Oh, Blue team clearing out all those warriors. That sweeper getting so much value right there. And it looks like the blue team just really wants to make some sort of pick. But I don't think the red team is going to walk blindly into something like that. Again, experience coming into play as a great smoke screen. Gets them caught out. Lands onto all 5. We'll see if there's a fight here. No, red team does not want to fight. Did not want to commit to that as they just spoil the surprise attack from the blue team, and that will be enough for them. Oh, and they are catching the red team in a pretty awkward spot here as Leona has based. So that will be a Baron going over towards the blue team, and that's going to be a lot of free gold for them. That does take away a really big throw objective off the map. So if the blue team were to get caught out and make a mistake, the red team wouldn't be able to take it for themselves. So that's really good that they got that. It's a good call, as Leona was just basing this. Perfect timing. Red team was not ready for that. And they're going to get a lot out of this, it seems. Red team does not have any interest in picking up their blue. Do not want to go exploring where they don't really have a whole lot of vision. The dragon area is pretty much pitch black for them. And just like that, huge lead once again reestablished by the blue team, and it looks like they do want to make a move for the bottom inhibitor. Kayle will be recalling, and I gotta believe that she's gonna teleport in. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out this time. They have the Baron buff. Lucian has his core items now, his triple main damage items. Orianna as well with a Void Staff, so man, that's going to be a whole lot of hurt. Double Randuins as well. So we'll see how they play this time. Again, red team was successful last time, but the gold lead is still very massive. It's a lot of damage on that blue team. Lucian is actually recalling, so the Baron buff not getting a whole lot of value right now as they are just pretty much pushing a wave here, pushing a wave there, and not really forcing anything hard. It looks like Kayle is going to walk right into that. That is not good at all. And Kayle is going to go down. That is a huge mistake to walk the short way towards the wave. You got to make sure that you know what's going on when enemies are missing. So another huge misplay by Kayle. She loses her Baron buff, and that's a long death timer. She does still have teleport again, so she will be able to clear the map and get wherever she needs to be, but yeah, you just can't allow those kind of mistakes. What should have been a free inhibitor by now is still up for grabs right now. The red team doesn't really look like their inhibitors in a whole lot of danger right now, despite this 59.6k to 46.5. Interesting that Kayle does not have a Lich Bane, has instead opted for a Hurricane, and is working towards a Zhonya's Hourglass. That will be good for her, as she will most definitely be taking quite a bit of focus damage. It'll also make it easier for her to share the intervention. Culling coming across, that is a really big cooldown that has just been burned. Red team will definitely be aware of that. There's the force, and there's the damage, but again, they take the full AoE. I don't understand what's going on here, guys, but that gold lead is just too big already. And what went wrong the first time does not go wrong the second time, as again, the gold lead is just way too big. Despite getting blown up massively, Lucian just disappeared. Vi really forced that, I'm not gonna lie, but because of the lack of a tower, that will be the game, emphatically. Finally, blue team able to close out. Took them a lot longer than it probably should have, but they were able to get the job done, and that's all that matters. Game 1 going to Pang Smash. Good game.